You're listening to The Pete Sheppard Show.
Oh, it's good to be back.
3rd and 16. Mahomes rolling out. Looking, firing, intercepted! Picked up by Cooper DeJean. Gets a block. DeJean is in. Touchdown!
Back and reads Patrick Eyes. You can see the break. And this young stud, Cooper DeJean, another rookie making a huge impact.
How did that guy fall all the way to number 40 is going to be one of the topics of this morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the day after the Super Bowl. Some of you may never eat and drink again, but by noontime, you'll feel better. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Pete Sheppard Show. Eagles dominate 40-22 over the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to break it all down, have all the highlights for you today. Good morning, everybody. Let's get it going. Thanks, everyone, for checking us out across the video platform here on the Coastal Sports Network and, of course, on the Sports Radio 102.9 The Game app. Follow me on PShep326. Also on all our Facebook pages, Tampa Joe's, the Coastal Sports Network Facebook page, my Facebook page, YouTube, Rumble, CSN Florida, LinkedIn, Spotify, Twitch, YouTube, and call or text the show at 727-858-6650. I actually played the wrong cut there. I thought I had the other one up because it's much better. And let me find it. I know right out of the gate. Here we go. But let me. I really wanted to play Merrill Reese's call because there's nothing like your hometown announcer with a call. Merrill's, of course, a legendary voice at 94 WIP in Philly. Let me see if I can find it before I welcome in Angel Martinez, who's just been on cloud nine, coming off like no sleep at all. But anyway. All right, and let's just welcome Angel Martinez and get this going right away. It is the Pete Sheppard Show. Angel did a special show yesterday from Tampa Joe's. It was good. It was awesome. And then the game was just absolute dominance by the Philadelphia Eagles. Congratulations to your boys. I will say I'm not surprised at all. I've liked the Eagles for a long, long time. I certainly loved them. My final score of 29-25 was a little off, but nobody saw this coming. And what is absolutely amazing, the two numbers right out of the gate, Angel, that jump out to me. You know how many drives it took Kansas City to cross midfield? Take a guess.
1,000.
9 before they crossed midfield, number one. Travis Kelce didn't have a catch until the third quarter, and the Eagles never blitzed one time. Not one time. They just sent a four-man rush, and we're all over Patrick Mahomes all day, sacking him, 6 times or 6.5 times. Never, ever blitzed one time. You talk about a copycat league. There's going to be a copycat league, copycat system that people are going to watch the Eagles defense. That was absolutely brilliant yesterday. If you had just shown me the Saquon Barkley stats, it would have been like, oh, no, they must have not, but they were so dominant on defense. Jalen Hurts was spectacular, except for the one interception. Other than that, and that wasn't even a horrible interception because it was down. It was like a punt anyway. It was down deep in Kansas City's zone. He gets the MVP. Nick Sirianni is going to become the highest paid head coach in football because the Eagles are going to redo that contract you watch after, because I think it's expired after next year, I believe. But they'll probably, and Jalen Hurts is now going to be, you have to put him up there with the elite quarterback status. And I know those of you out there are going to doubt this. Just go look at the plays that guy made. And it was a very, dare I say, Angel, a very Patriot-esque win. You know why? Because you guys made a ton of sacrifices that a lot of teams, a lot of players have been bitching and moaning, despite the little A.J. Brown like 10 weeks ago that we got into and all this. It didn't matter. Yeah, I'm sure those guys want Jalen to throw. Probably Jalen wants to throw 40 times a game. But that's how you win championships. That's what great teams do. And that was a great defensive performance. It's one of the best ever in the Super Bowl. Forget the garbage 16 points at the end. That was a butt-whipping, ass-kicking win by the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was, to me, looking at it, I'm like, this is what a lot of good, and maybe not on paper necessarily great, and that's a great defense that Patriots teams did. Sacrifices that were made, and Jalen Hurts made all the right plays. Nick Sirianni outcoached Andy Reid. You can't deny that. It absolutely happened. Now you can certainly you certainly give praises to the coordinators in this one. Kellen Moore on offense and Vic Fangio was outstanding. But all we heard all week from a lot of people, because of that one blitz, is that Steve Spagnuolo, who's one of the best DCs in the league, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But there weren't enough people talking about the Eagles and Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio and the job they did. And the number one Eagles defense, once again, now the number one defense, 11-2 when in the Super Bowl. 11-2. Now, I know people say defense wins championships. I've always been, yeah, sometimes that happens, but you got to have pretty much a well-balanced team. But I've been saying the Eagles have been a well-balanced team for a couple of months now, and that's why I'm not surprised, especially after the Lions got all those injuries. And they would have beat the Lions anyway. If they played in Detroit, they would have beat them. They would have beat them. And if Detroit was fully healthy on defense, maybe a different story, but it doesn't matter. This was a kick-ass performance by your Philadelphia Eagles. Angels, congratulations. The numbers, not blitzing one time and sacking Patrick Mahomes. And I also want to be clear on this before we get to Angels' thoughts. As far as the Chiefs dynasty being over, look, I don't know if they can rebuild like the Patriots did 3 times. I mean, Tom Brady went like a decade in between Super Bowls, but the Kansas City Chiefs are not going away anytime soon. I mean, just because they didn't win 3 in a row does not mean the whole organization is going to fall apart. Trust me. But the Eagles, meanwhile, though, this team could be dominant for the next several years. So good morning, Angel. Congratulations. An absolute butt kick, and nobody saw this coming. Not that the Eagles couldn't win, but nobody saw a blowout like this. I mean, 34-0 at one point. Jalen Hurts doing all the right things. Saquon Barkley could have taken the day off. The only thing, it screwed up my MVP pick. But other than that, it was a great day for me, shekel-wise. And square-wise, Angel, plus 350. How about that? Plus,
that's nice.
In the squares. Miss Elaine and I we had a good day. And the last 2-point conversion cost me $500 because I had 0-0. So because that 2-point conversion ended up with a 2, our good friends Brian and Mary, Brian from Naples Well Planning, and they get the $500 at the end. But we won halftime and the third quarter. Anyway. How are you, sir? Did you even get any shut-eye at all? You still got Berman on in the background. You're watching the post-game show, which will be played all day long. I don't blame you. There's nothing better than when your team wins.
No, and to say that you are champions again, we are champions for a second time, and the reason why we're champions because this is what you play for, and I can't wait for that second one to come. I can't freaking wait. But no, listen, I mentioned it last week. Here on your show, I mentioned it on my show, in order to beat the Chiefs fair and square without any flags or anything else, you had to beat them by 21. I mentioned on Wednesday, I mentioned it yesterday during a pregame show, 45-21 the final, and damn if I wasn't close, it being 40-22.
Good for you. Good for you. I thought the Eagles were going to win the whole for the last couple of weeks, and I just thought it'd be a little bit closer, 29-25. I thought Kansas City would get like a garbage touchdown at the end. They got a couple of garbage touchdowns in the beginning, but the first play, all we talked about last week was, God, please, the officials don't come in and play, please. So what happens on the first play? The 32-yard pass to A.J. Brown from Hurts. To the Chiefs 18 on 4th and 2. First of all, an incredibly ballsy call to throw that ball on 4th and 2, which I thought was kind of stupid. I was like, this is where you need to do some sort of Saquon Barkley thingy, whatever. But it was a perfect throw, except when the refs threw the flag for offensive pass interference. And it was, I won't say it was ticky-tack because he did have his hand in Trent McDuffie's face mask. But they let that go a lot. Had he been closer, that could have been ruled a stiff arm. Brady didn't like the call either as well. And you're thinking right out of the gate, oh, shit, here we go. And I'm thinking, is this going to be the way it's going? But forget that because right after that, McDuffie had the following that incomplete pass on Goddard, had the unnecessary roughness call. So that evened everything out right away. And then you didn't have to talk about the refs the rest of the game. They had nothing to do with this at all. It was a very good officiated game. And the Eagles, without blitzing one time, with just a 4-man rush, just absolutely manhandled the Chiefs.
Yeah, it was. You got to put on a dominant performance. That's the way you want to do it at the very end. And I know, listen, everybody was going nuts. I know Pete had said all season long they weren't going to be there. Fire Sirianni. I get it. We all felt that same exact way. Pete
I didn't say fire Sirianni. Me? I said hold your horse. Not just the opposite. You wanted to, yeah, and you're not alone. There were guys on ESPN that called him a clown.
Yeah,
You called him worse, but.
They did. No, I sure did.
believe after week 4 when they were 2-2, I believe your word of the day was jackass.
Yeah, sure was. But
you owe him an apology, sir.
All I know is it's funny because you really don't pay attention to some of the stuff you do, and to a certain extent, but you don't realize the Eagles went 16-1 the rest of the way. That is quite incredible.
I realized it. I kept trying to tell you that this was look what he was maturing as a head coach, and you can't deny he was not just staying out of the way, trusting his coordinators, but it wasn't the goofy 4th down decisions that he went for early on didn't happen. Now, that 4th and 2 was a ballsy call.
Yeah. They
must have seen something on film. And it was a great throw by Jalen Hurts and a great catch by A.J. Brown. It was a little ticky-tack. But he outcoached Andy Reid. Absolutely. I don't think you're telling me that Patrick Mahomes thought the Eagles want to get that type of pressure on him the entire game? They didn't cross midfield for the first 9 drives. Travis Kelce doesn't have a catch till the 3rd quarter. They're booing Taylor Swift. They cut to her. Remember, she's like, "Why are they booing me?" Well, listen, darling, no offense, but that's part of the deal. First of all, it was all Eagle people at New Orleans anyway. It seemed like 3/4 of the stadium were Eagles fans. And they cut to poor Taylor. You could read her lips. Why are they booing me? Why are they boo Giselle? Why are they boo? Fans boo for stupid reasons. You can't take it personally. They're just fans doing that. President Trump was there. They showed him a couple of times. He was on the field afterwards. The halftime show, depending on what you read, either sucked or was great, and that's usually the case. I can tell you this, Angel, at halftime, I was smoking a beautiful cigar with my buddy Dave, and I was out in the background. We were walking on the other side of his pool, so we wouldn't bother anybody with the cigar smoke, but I have no opinion on it because I didn't see it. I didn't even know Serena Williams was on it until this morning. Didn't even know. Didn't even know. That she was there. So I have no opinion on the halftime show except it's too fucking long. I just can't stand it. It seems to get longer every year. It's ridiculous. And that aside, commercials I thought were horrible.
Yeah,
I like the Donuts one early on with Ben Affleck and Kate. That was his brother Casey, if you didn't know, next to him. That was kind of funny. And the rest of them, I can't remember one off the top of my head. I just can't. But let me ask you. So did you say for the whole game at Tampa Joe's?
Oh, yeah. To Vince Lombardi trophy, basically, when they had to say, all right, get out. Yep. That's enough.
But it was, at halftime, kicking the shit out of them, 24-0. I mean, just it was something. The Eagles scored a lot of prop bets. I don't know if you guys with numbers and squares and all that stuff. I mean, I did pretty well. I had all week long. I was preaching Philadelphia and the over. My buddy gave me Renzi because he sent me a nice message on Twitter. Our buddy, Sports Rage handicapper, and I sent him a message on Friday, or I should say Saturday morning, and I said, I hope you don't mind. I said, I didn't want to bother you because I know you're swamped with shows and appearances and stuff. He goes, no. He said, I actually was ready to come on with you. And he said, but I didn't hear from you, so I figured out. I said, well, I said, thank you so much for coming on and all the great stuff. And he sent a really nice message back. However, he's like, yeah. And then he went on to explain that, Gabe lives in British Columbia.
Right.
He never got his bag all week. They lost his luggage. They lost it. His flight got delayed. He wouldn't say what airline. He did say it was an American airline, but it was an American airline per se. Lost his bag. Didn't get his stuff all week long, and he said it kind of, said because I had some personal stuff, I had some other stuff. He said he never got it. He said, even the whole week, even when he left to go back to BC, to Vancouver, he still didn't have it. So hopefully he'll get his clothes. But I've been fortunate enough in my life that's never happened to me. They lost my golf clubs once when I was coming back from Myrtle Beach, but that was it. I don't think they lost them. It was just delayed by a few hours. But losing your luggage, especially Super Bowl week, is never fun. But anyway, that aside, an absolute kick-ass performance by the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday, and I'm going to punch up, which I think is it's just a great soundbite. Okay, here it is. No, that's not it either. Hold on. Damn it, I'm telling you, where is the call from WIP? Oh, here it is. Okay, you ready? This is what I wanted to play in the open.
It is 3rd and 16 for the Chiefs. Facing the staunchest defense of the season. Back goes Mahomes. He's rushing. He's looking. It's intercepted. It's intercepted. Running with the football to the 25. Down the far side is DeJean. And DeJean is in for a touchdown.
Happy birthday, Cooper DeJean.
Cooper DeJean with a pick for a touchdown.
Cooper DeJean, a pick six in the Super Bowl on your birthday. Happy birthday, kid.
Oh, man, great stuff. Of course, the great Merrill Reese and Mike Quick there. Remember him? He's in the booth with him for a long time now over at WIP in Philadelphia. So that was Merrill Reese. You know, it's funny when you talk to him. I've talked to him many times. He doesn't, when you talk to him and have a conversation, he doesn't sound like that. He doesn't. You probably talked to him before. He does not sound the way he broadcasts. And he has a very distinct style that I've always appreciated. You know, when Merrill speaks, that it's him. You know, it's an Eagles game.
Yeah, no, it's freaking. I'm happy because him, Mike Quick will get their second ring along with a bunch of other people. And Merrill Reese, I'm quite sure is not going to hang up anytime soon. At least I hope not. He's been the voice of the Eagles for so many years. It wouldn't be the same without him. But listen, yesterday, the performance they had yesterday, going into the half, 34-0. I mean, it was incredible. Like every stinking field that I said about 2017, that's exactly the way it absolutely felt. The same.
It was 24-0 at halftime. And Kevin Burkhardt. You know, I know they tried to keep people interested, but they wanted to. But even when it was 34-0, Kevin Burkhardt, you know, and still trying to say, "Yeah, there's still a chance." No, there wasn't. This was not going to. And everybody in the background was thinking, "Oh, the Patriots are up. Patriots are down 28-3 to Atlanta." And I was like, "Well, no." It's just one of those days because the Falcon defense that day was not playing like the Eagles defense, and a whole different ball game. And I'm sorry, Patrick Mahomes. You know, everybody. Hey, look, you can't win. You can't win every single year, but that was as dominating. I think you have to go back. When the hell was it? 2000, when Seattle blasted Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos when he was playing the first time before he got his revenge afterwards. But I remember Manny Ramirez, the center, snapped the ball over his head in the first play of the game. It was 2-0 Seattle, and they never looked back. They were fantastic. But just dominating defense. And Jalen Hurts, Angel, making all the right plays. And he is 17 of 22, 221 yards, a couple of touchdowns, interception. If I had told you, Angel, before the game that if I told you Saquon Barkley would have 25 carries and only 57 yards, a long of 10 and no touchdowns, what would you have said the score would have been? Be honestly, if I just gave you that number.
You would have thought at least 21-20, if that.
Yep. But it goes to show you, is what I was saying last week. You didn't need Jalen Hurts to throw for 300 yards or anything like that. Hurts rushed for 72 yards on his own on 11 carries. He was spectacular and ran for a touchdown. Threw for 2 more. Absolutely outstanding stuff. Let me give you another couple of highlights here before we get to some of the post-game stuff. And let's see. Trying to find some of the best cuts here from our guys at Total Sport. Okay. Well, here's one at the end. I mean, this kind This kind of locked up. This is another great call from Merrill Reese on IP. It's Devontae Smith, 46. A beautiful pass by Jalen Hurts.
Hurts back, looking. He is going deep, and it is caught. Touchdown!
The Slim Reaper.
Devontae Smith, 46 yards.
The Slim Reaper. So you got a sudden change. You force them to turn it over on downs, and on the very first play, you line up the Slim Reaper on the left side, and he just runs by the defense, and it's a perfectly thrown ball by the quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Put some respect on his name.
This is amazing. This is a rout. With 2:40 to go in the third quarter, Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith. What a combination.
He's fantastic. I love listening to him. Here's Nick Sirianni, who's going to get a huge contract on getting revenge against the Chiefs.
Revenge is served sweet when you get a big old good butt whooping over the team that hurt you 2 years ago. How good does this feel, knowing that you beat the Chiefs who beat you 2 years ago?
Yeah, all glory to God, first and foremost. But that's a great football team. And we had to come out and play our best, and we did. And what a lesson to the entire world of what good teamwork does. We have selfless guys. We have guys that don't want to let each other down. Mm-hmm. We got guys that will fight for each other, that will play hurt for each other. They love each other. Love is a strong thing, and it takes a lot of work to develop that. And these guys, that's a team. That's a team and the greatest team sport there is.
I agree 100%. And I'm telling you, the great teams, and I've been lucky in my life to see a lot of them from my hometown. I'm telling you that is what you do. You got to make sacrifices. And you talk about doing your job. They did their job, and then some yesterday, the Philadelphia Eagles. Smith had 4 catches for 69 yards with a touchdown, as you heard. Brown, we'll get to that touchdown. He had one as well, 43 yards, and he had 3 catches, 43 yards, and a touchdown. It was just it was just an ass whooping. All 3 phases of the game. Elliott was perfect a couple times. There were some plays that went against the Eagles that backed up his field goals, and he still nailed them. Every one of them was right. I think one of them was just kind of stuck in on the right. Everything else was down the middle, absolute down the middle. So special teams, defense, and offense propels the Eagles. It just an absolute ass kicking yesterday. Saquon Barkley credits his teammates after the historic season ends with a Super Bowl. And on his birthday, remember, Saquon Barkley and DeJean both had their birthdays yesterday. How DeJean, that little, he's like a little gnat. I mean, he's on special teams, on the punt return. He reminds me a lot of Welker or Edelman in a lot of ways. And that was a great read that he had and on the play. And Patrick Mahomes, not his best yesterday, but it's because I believe it was more, all right, he was a little off, but the Eagles made him be a little off. I hate when we say, Patrick Mahomes just had a bad game. Well, it wasn't because of that. The whole game, they didn't cross midfield for 9 drives. Yep. I mean, it took them 9 drives to cross midfield. That's not all bad. That is the Philadelphia Eagles defense playing great. Here's Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, hell of a year, right? I couldn't do it without, the big boys up front. Everyone on this team, and I just appreciate them, the whole Eagles organization of, me being a newcomer, welcome me in with open arms and, helping build confidence back in me too. That was definitely helpful. So it was a hell of a year, but all the numbers and stats or records is cool, but, the best thing is to be able to hold that Lombardi trophy.
Can you imagine? I'm going to listen to if Q's on today at 4:00 because he just must be sick to his stomach, right? As a Giants fan that he is, he's got to be. I didn't hear who his prediction was to win the Super Bowl, but you got to. If you're a Giants fan, you got to be sick to your stomach, right? You got it.
I sent him a thank you message last night with a video. So thank you, Giants. You guys are freaking outstanding. But no, he was. I want to say probably 25 minutes into the game, he sent me a text like, okay, that's it. I'm done watching this. I can't deal with it anymore. But yeah, Giants fans, listen, you guys, I understand whatever. I even asked Eli how long it's going to take for you guys to get back. You'll get back there. But man, oh man, thank you for Saquon. You guys didn't want him. We scooped
They're
him
not
up.
getting back there anytime soon. They got a long way to go. And that division with Philadelphia and Washington, and I don't know what the Cowboys are going to be. You'll be fighting out with Dallas for the 3 spot, I think, for a couple of years. That's going to be it's unbelievable. Before we go, let's play. Let's scroll down. It's the first video underneath the show, Angel, today. This is in case you missed it. Here's Nick Sirianni celebrating Cooper DeJean's pick 6 is amazing. And I think Coach Sirianni almost beat DeJean to the end zone. Watch how fast he runs down the sideline as this play is going on.
He almost did. Until what? Howie Roseman, man, that guy's a freaking genius.
3rd and 16. Mahomes rolling out. Looking, firing, intercepted. Picked up by Cooper DeJean. Gets a block. DeJean is in. Touchdown. Wow.
Wow. Absolutely unbelievable. I'm trying to see, do we have any Cooper DeJean cuts? We got to have some Cooper DeJean cuts here.
By the way, and let me say this before we go into the break as well.
Yeah.
As much as I'm enjoying the second one, as much as I'm enjoying it, Big Dom, you're still a big idiot. The clown had to be freaking everywhere once again. Jesus, I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm looking at
Well,
the
he gets
TV.
paid to be his bodyguard, basically. But yeah, that's the first person he's like, get out of the way. And that's the first thing I said when the game was over and Nick was trying to get to to get to Andy Reid. Is just, so here's this big goofball, but he is what he is. He is what he is. Don't let that, rain on your parade, so to speak. And no question.
Won't, but he's going to get his ring too. Just give him to him last.
Oh, they give the janitor's going to get a ring. I mean, sure, the Eagles are like the Patriots. They give rings to everybody. And if you're associated with the team in any way, shape, or form, you get one. I'm trying to see if we have any DeJean cuts here. Do we? Because I really thought about giving him the end. When he made that pick 6, I said, he's got a shot to be MVP. First time a defensive player in quite some time. I really thought, because of the way the game was going.
Yeah.
And then it was when he did that, it was only 10-0 then. That pick 6 made it 17-0. I'm like, well, if this ends up being 17-10 or 24-14, I go, he might have a shot at getting this, because that was a huge play in that game. All right, let's take a quick break, and I'll find some other cuts. And when we come back, more reaction from the Eagles, more reaction from the Kansas City Chiefs, as well as a thumping that they took 40-22 at the hands of the Philadelphia Eagles, world champions again. You go back 2 years ago and you think about how they lost that game 38-35. And totally different type of game, totally different defense, as we're trying to tell people all week long on this show anyway. Don't go by what happened 2 years ago.
Nope.
And the referees finally did not come into play in this game. It was just a kick-ass win by the Eagles. All right. 727-858-6650. That's the number to call. It is the Pete Sheppard Show. Quick break and more highlights from Super Bowl LIX next here on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey, everybody. It's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them, sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, class, let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge rock and saw all of these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him in the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Awesome. Where were you, Jill?
Yeah. We went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Don't spaz out because your team lost. Let Pete do it for you. Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
It's over. The Philadelphia Eagles have won Super Bowl 59. They have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs 40-22. It's their second Super Bowl win in 7 years. What a game. What a season. What a team. The greatest Eagles team in modern history. Eagles fans, savor it and rejoice.
Have rejoiced. Mel Reese, WIP last night. Wow. Says the greatest Eagles team of all time. I think you could absolutely make a case for that. Greatest Eagles team of all time. Yeah, is this team better than one that beat the Patriots? Angel, what do you think?
Oh, a lot better. Are you kidding me?
It's tough to make comparisons like that because they're all, you win the Super Bowl, you're all great teams. But you agree with Merrill there, the greatest Philadelphia Eagles team of all time?
It was because you got to figure. I mean, listen. Again, to be the best, you got to beat the best. And when the Patriots were in their dynasty, it was just great. After freaking blowing it in 2004, 05 in Jacksonville, you turn around and you know it wasn't a blowout, but nonetheless, at least you got a semi route on the Patriots. And then the way it was going to end at the very end, because everybody thought there was going to be a flag or something else, you beat them, and you knew you were the best at that point. Then you take the Chiefs in their own dynasty, the same exact way as, and it was pretty much 50-50 for a lot of people. But I think towards the end of the week, there was a lot of folks that just wanted the Eagles to win. But by far, is this a much better win? Yeah, just because it being now the second time you beat a team that's in dynasty mode. So it makes it so much better the second time around.
No, that's a good point. Very good point. Jay says, both Pete and I picked Philly to win by 4. Jay will be on my show later today. He's got his Beefs World show coming up tonight. George says, great to hear you recap, Pete, from the Celebrity Ascent. Okay. And thank you for that.
That was your Merrill Reese.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. Where's that cut I wanted to play? We get Nick Sirianni talked about how the adversity fueled the Eagles to the Super Bowl win.
There was scrutiny in Philadelphia, even from your own fans.
It's from ESPN.
But tonight, you're a world champion. How satisfying is it for you personally?
When you have criticism and when you have adversity, I'm grateful for that because it helps you get better. If you embrace the adversity, it helps you get better. And so and really just doubling down on the things you know are true and not really caring about the opinions of others and doubling down on the things that you know are true. In our case, is tough, detailed together. How we get better? How do we get better at that? And I said to somebody already, is like, what a great example for my, that I'm going to be able to do for my kids when they're going through struggles on social media or in the world, and I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to be able to look back on this year. So I'm grateful for the adversity because the adversity makes you who you are. I can think back in my entire life of that. And so embrace the adversity, work your butt off, and, do it how you know how to do it. Even if you're not the vision of what people think you should be, you got to lead the way you know you need to lead.
Yeah, great stuff there from Nick Sirianni. Rick M. says, happy Victory Monday. Happy for Brandon Graham to go out with a win. Tampa Joe's felt like we were in New Orleans. It was standing room only. Yeah, I'm sure it was. By the way, speaking of that, excuse me, a big shout out to my dear friends Dave and Marie, who once again invited us into their home, us, myself, Pina Caroli, and about 16 other people that came, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. The booze, the food, the company, it was just absolutely amazing. I am so blessed down here to have the friends that I have, especially around football season. It's just amazing. And they host a lot of the parties at their house. They have a really big place with a huge outdoor lanai in Fort Myers. You could have a wedding there every day, pool, everything, grill. TVs everywhere. It's like going to Disney World. It's absolutely phenomenal. But the food, Dave made. When I tell you, Angel, this is one of the main dishes, was a seafood chowder. And I'm not talking about any seafood chowder. I don't think there was a potato in this thing. When I tell you had to be, it looked like about 8 to 10 pounds of lobster that were in this, scallops, shrimp, and probably other fish, and the creaminess, the celery, everything else. It would have cost you about $30. If that was a bowl in a restaurant, it would have been about $30. It was off the chart. We had chili, we had hot dogs, there was pizza. I had the jalapeno. I made the jalapeno stuffed peppers with the wrapped in bacon that were a big hit. Peanut Gallery she made the pretzel Rolos I told you about. They didn't last long. She puts the square pretzels and puts Rolo on top, and then at the end you garnish with an M&M, not a peanut M&M because it's too big, but a plain M&M on top to make it extra ooey gooey. Really good stuff. But we had so much fun, and they opened up their house, and it just absolutely it amazes me how they do it. And it's like going to a resort. Like people come in there for the first time and they see what we do, and I'm like, and of all the, there was just so much, and there was appetizers and everything. And you know what? The one thing that we did not have yesterday, you're never going to believe it. The one food that was not present, and it didn't matter at all because nobody cared. There were meatballs, all sorts of stuff. I mean, nobody left there without a plate. Nobody left there without being full. That's for damn sure. But guess what was the one food we did not have yesterday? It didn't hit me till I was driving home.
Cheese?
No, plenty of cheese. No. What's a big game day food?
Buffalo wings?
Yeah, buffalo. Just chicken wings. We didn't have chicken wings.
Holy crap!
You believe it? But nobody cared. Nobody didn't even realize it. There was so much other stuff that is better than chicken wings. But yeah, no chicken wings. No chicken wings. But it was fantastic. It was just. I wanted to thank Dave and Marie once again for hosting. What the hell is that?
I don't know. I like to thank.
This came on my. It's nothing.
I'd like to thank Rafael Milan Jr., Fly Eagles Fly. I'd like to thank all the Eagles fans, the Eagles Nation. And by the way, hopefully everybody can hear this one because I had a great soundbite here from Patrick Mahomes. Let's see if this works. Hopefully everybody can hear this.
My favorite color is green. Green, and that's always been my favorite color. St. Patrick's Day, it worked out perfectly.
Save that. We haven't even talked about Jalen Hurts. Well, he did a little bit. He is the MVP and talked about how great his teammates are.
Still processing it. It's been a long journey. It's been a journey of ups and downs and highs and lows, and I've always stayed true to it in the end. And having this vision of just being the best that I can be, and that evolving over time into this desire and this flame inside to win. And you don't do great things without the guys around you. So the effort, the work, always leaning on that, trusting in that, and trusting the process, and staying the course, and sticking to the script.
And just to deviate, and Joel Embiid's going to be out for a long time. Going to need more surgery.
Meanwhile,
more from Jalen Hurts. That's a true story. And then, how about the Lakers botching that deal with the KK Williams? I could have done a whole show on what happened in the NBA this weekend. From Friday to weekend, but we're not going to. Well, there's plenty of time for that. By the way, so. My buddies, my good friends Dave and Marie. So as a birthday present, Marie gets Dave nice little trip today to Miami to watch the Celtics beat up on the Miami Heat, hopefully. So it's, watching the postgame show, everybody's going to get ready to leave. He's exhausted. I mean, he's like, I don't even want to go. What? What do you mean you don't want to go?
That's a good gift.
But they are going to go. They are going to go. All right, here's more from Jalen Hurts, the Super Bowl MVP, on the effort the team put to beat the Chiefs.
It definitely took a team effort, took a group effort, and only thing I can think about is all the effort, all the work that was put in over the course of time. And I think we had a focused group out there. Offense was able to score points, to take advantage of opportunities, just enough to put points on the board, and then defense played their ass off. They played how they played all year, and I truly believe offense wins games, but defense wins championships, and how that defense has been able to play. It's a great testament to them.
Yes, it was. Oh, Marie chimed in. It takes a village of friends to pull off the gatherings we host. Yeah, but the work before. What I was amazed was about an hour after I got home, I get Dave sends a message out, a group message to all of us, and the kitchen was spotless. It's like nobody was ever there. I don't know how they do it. Because stuff is everywhere. I mean, we're not slobs or anything, but to pick up after 18 people after with booze and food and Super Bowl and divvying out. By the way, Marie, I forgot 2 of my plates. And you said it to me. I was so stunad when I left. I not drunk. I just was like, wanted to get home. And you're like, I got your plates. And what do I do, Angel? I leave them right there on the table. 2 of them.
Still keep going.
Of course, Peanut Gallery says the first thing. Did you get the plate? No. So, but we'll get him. We'll see him. We'll probably see each other this week. Here's more from Jalen Hurts as the passing game. It's just something that came to him during the game.
Was that part of the game plan from the beginning that you could throw against the Kansas City Chiefs and go long with your receivers?
It was just something that kind of came. It was something that kind of came. You know, I just think it's something that kind of came. You know, we just was able to execute. And I think the main thing I'll point to is you being able to find ways to win in multiple ways. You know, we've been able to be dominant on the ground. We've been able to be efficient in the pass game and do what needs to be done when it needs to be done. You know, and I think over the course of our year, you guys have heard me say, just because we don't doesn't mean we can't. And when you hear a statement like that, I think it always comes down to, well, what is you're missing? Why are you doing this? I'm doing it to win. You know, I do it to win. This team approaches it just to do the same thing, and that's what it's about. You know, I'm not going to look back at anything and remember anything that someone said about me or an opinion that was had. I'm going to think about the championships that we won.
Not only championships that you won, and also in college. I mean, there's this guy, Jay brought it up. I mean, Jay, he was benched in college in Alabama for Tua Tagovailoa, but they went on to win the national championship. But what this guy's been through has been amazing, and to me, he's elevated himself. And I always thought he was one of the more elite quarterbacks. I didn't think he was getting enough credit, and now, you know, all bets are off. And he didn't have to throw for 300 or 400 yards. He made all the right plays. He scrambled at all the right times, and it was an awesome effort by the Eagles all around. Andy Reid, head coach of the Chiefs, speaking of awesome effort, about Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator for the Eagles.
Vic does a great job. I can't get rid of this guy, man. Every time I turn around, I feel like we're playing him, you know, whatever team it is, and he's there and leading the charge with it. So, and then he's got great players to fit in with his master scheme there.
Yep, and Andy Reid also talked about how they had to throw the ball, couldn't get it done on the run.
See from Patrick in terms of the fight on the field and his leadership off the field.
Yeah, listen, he did a good job. The guys battled all the way to the end. Did some nice things at the end, but it was too late, you know. Go ahead. Oh, there.
I was just asking, what adjustment did you try to make during halftime? I don't feel like they panned out in a big way.
Yeah, we went a little no huddle. It didn't work as well as we wanted it to. So, yeah, that was one of the adjustments.
What happened with the running game versus the passing game and the level of passing was?
Yeah, well, we got it down. Yeah, so we threw the ball probably more than we would want to going into the game, but felt like it was important that we did that. Just get back in.
Do you think the players felt any pressure with that possible
Listen, I don't think so. I mean, it's hard playing in this. I mean, this is a tough game. It's best against the best, and so I think they're more focused on that than they are three-peats and all that stuff. That wasn't a big issue there. Yeah, listen, we tried to. I thought they did a couple nice little things where they, rolled to him, and they obviously knew where he was, right? So, yeah.
All right, we'll hear more from the Chiefs as well, and they could not early on. I had a feeling it was going to be a rough day for the Chiefs running the football. They couldn't. It was like they run into a brick wall. Mahomes was the leading rusher in the game for them at 25 carries, or 25 yards on 4 carries. Hunt had 9 yards on 3 carries. P. Ryan had 8 yards on just 1 carry, and Pacheco had 7 yards. I mean, the halftime numbers were astounding. I mean, it was like 2-1 possession Philadelphia.
Yeah.
The Chiefs had like a net 27 yards total, or whatever it was, some unbelievable number. Like I said, it took their first 7 possessions were 5 punts and 2 picks, if I'm not mistaken. They didn't cross midfield until their 9th possession. Absolute dominating, kick-ass performance. There's just no getting away around it. Let's see. Let's hear more from the Chiefs. Let's hear from Patrick Mahomes, okay, on the type of defense you saw throughout the game.
Yeah, I think just when defenses are going to play the shell coverage and stay back and play man on third down, I can't make bad plays worse, and I think that's something that you saw today is that there was times when guys aren't open and I need to throw the ball away or check it down and let other guys make plays happen. Sometimes I get in where I want to make a big play to kind of spark us, and that's something that I've dealt with my entire career. And if I don't show that I will take what's there in the game, the defenses are going to stay in the coverages that they're in. And I think they only blitzed like one time this entire game today. So they were going to make me be a fundamental quarterback from the pocket and take what's there, and that stuff I have to get better at.
What was the biggest
No, not really. I mean, it's just the pressure of the Super Bowl. There's always pressure, and you have to find ways to deal with that and find ways to respond to that. And we've had good games, and we've had games like this now, and we'll have to find ways to respond to this adversity. And like I said, hopefully it'll motivate these guys, especially myself, to be even better. And it's a short off season. We have a lot of guys come back. We'll have some guys that won't, but it's a short off season, and we have to get better, and so that hopefully we get this opportunity again that we can go out there and capitalize on it.
You know, it's going to be interesting, Angel, because it's a copycat league. So now what's going to happen is, and this, again, I keep bringing up the Patriots, but what I'm going to tell you, there's so many of them. And people you say, or what the Giants did when they beat them twice. Oh, this is how you get to how you get to any quarterback is pressure up the middle. I loved how they used to just individualize Tom like this. If you want to get to Tom Brady, just pressure up them. Say that about any quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, but people are going to be looking, this is the blueprint. You're going to hear that word, Angel, that term all week long. This is the blueprint of how to beat the Chiefs. Look what the Eagles did. They just rushed 4, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but the 4 that they were rushing, every team doesn't have that 4. You know, just because they did it, because they're great defensive line, all those guys, defensive line and linebackers, all of them, doesn't mean you know that the Carolina Panthers can do it. Oh, they're playing the Eagles. Oh, we'll just watch the tape. The Chiefs. We'll just watch the Chiefs play the Eagles, and we'll do the exact same defense. No, you won't. You still have to have the quality of those plays. People do this all the time. It's the blueprint to beat this team or that team. Yeah, but you got to have the players to do it. And this is the best defense in the NFL. It's one of the best defenses, I think, in Super Bowl history. When it's all said and done, they're going to be right up there. Nobody will ever beat the 85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens, but this one is pretty close to what I've seen. You know, the Patriots beating the Rams 13-3 a few years ago was something. Even the Rams defense shocked a lot of people in that game because the Patriots only had 13 in that game. But this is one of the best defenses in Super Bowl history. I hope people are going to appreciate that. But just because the Eagles can do it does not mean it's a blueprint for other teams in the NFL, because you don't have those Pro Bowl guys on the defensive line and linebackers.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
Let's see. Let's get some more. But you're going to hear blueprint.
Of course,
all week long. You watch.
It's the same way. I mean, even if the Eagles, let's say, hypothetically running back come next year, they're not going to use the same game play they use this year if it happens to be another rematch with Kansas City. So this, they can blueprint all they want to. There's still more tricks left up their sleeve, so it's okay.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking of tricks, we didn't see any trick plays yesterday. Nothing. Not a reverse, not a flea. I thought the Chiefs for sure, at least in the second half, were going to pull something, try something to get it go. Never did. And never did. The Eagles didn't have to, because they were just dominated. They didn't have to do anything crazy on offense.
I thought honestly they were going to do it on a punt. Like I was waiting for the Chiefs to do on a punt, like a fake punt, and then just to get back in the game. Nothing.
Yep. Rick says, was Fox short on cash when it came to the scoreboard on TV? Oh yeah, it was a little cheesy. Now I will tell you this also. I heard Chris Canty talking about this morning on the radio, that I believe it was the South End Zone last night during the halftime show, the Jumbotron went dead. Because they asked him this one, did you see the halftime show? He's like, no. They're like, well, you were on the field. He goes, yeah. He said, but the Jumbotron that was where I was looking went dead for the entire halftime show. He says, and I could barely see the other one that was way down the other side of the field. Anyway, we'll get to the halftime show in a second. I didn't watch 1 second of it. I did not watch 1 second of it. The commercials, the only one I remember is the Ben Affleck and Casey Affleck Dunkin' Donut commercial, which is early. None of them really tickled my fancy, to be honest with you. And I'm sure if I pay attention to more of it, it's one of those things. The volume's up. I got 8 guys around me. We're all talking and commenting on every single play, and you just. There's commercials which are, and then you get up to go to the bathroom because the breaks are 3-4 minutes long sometimes, just for a simple change of possession. It's like 4-minute commercial breaks. It's crazy.
I felt like it was friggin' 5 minutes last night in between every single switch. Come on, man. Let's get that friggin' game going.
That's their $8 million spots. That's what they got to do. Okay, here's Travis Kelce says, you don't lose like that without everything going bad.
I mean, couldn't get it going offensively. I mean, they just got after us on all 3 phases, and then on top of that, turnovers, penalties, playing behind the sticks on offense is just drop passes, not taking advantage of, the play call and executing. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. You don't lose like that without everything going bad. So
Rick, I'll get to your comment in a second. I'm going to say a little prayer against you. Travis kept kidding. Travis Kelce says the Chiefs didn't bring any energy.
Very emotional going to some of those guys.
What's most shocking about this type of performance? That we haven't played that bad all year.
Did they do anything that surprised you guys at all? Okay, I'm sorry.
Normally you guys can turn it around.
I know you talked about that before in these games where you keep everyone going to the sidelines. Was it difficult today?
I mean, just couldn't find that spark, couldn't find that momentum.
No, you could not. Rick, we played the Harry Met Sally remake. Was it last Monday? It was like a week ago that we had it. Yeah. And I said it was awful then. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And Meg Ryan, I mean, like I said, I don't know if it's just bad plastic surgery or whatever, injections, whatever it is. She looked like something out of a horror movie. And it was really, really lame. That was, and to be honest with you, I don't even remember coming on during the Super Bowl. I'm sure it did. I just, I don't really pay attention to the commercials. I don't pay attention to the halftime show. I didn't see anything about it. I know Taylor Swift got booed, and she had the audacity to act surprised. Well, sweetheart, you're dating one of the most popular men in the NFL, and they focus on you. It wasn't too bad last night, the amount of camera shots they had on her and Mama Kelce, who wears that glow-in-the-dark jacket with the Ronco studs on them. Remember the old Ronco studs? That's what it looked like.
Yep.
You too can. Anyway, but I mean, you represent the Chiefs. You're going to get booed, and there was, to me, it seemed like 75% Eagles fans in the Dome last night, right? I mean, it really did. 75%. Here's the one trick play that now the score's 34-0, mind you.
Home. Dancing around, thinking about running, going to run, a little shuttle. Oh, beauty! Kelsey's got it for a first down. Nice shuttle behind him, wide on, and that'll keep the drive on going.
Now, mind you, that Burkhardt, it's like, you would have, if you just heard that cut and didn't know the score, you'd say, oh, it's got to be tight. They're down 34-0. And he's getting, a chubby over a little shovel pass, to Travis Kelce. I mean, come on. It's just, I know you got to try keeping people in the game. Now, the tickets were through the roof, what they were going for. And I'm wondering how the ratings are going to be in the second half. I love the ratings probably fell off. Philadelphia, obviously, the Northeast continued. At least the Philadelphia is going to do great. Kansas City will do well. But the rest of the country, especially west of the Mississippi, I bet you they shut it off. I bet you they shut it off because it was an absolute blowout. And as I said, we have not seen a blowout like this since Seattle whacked Denver.
Yep.
Back then. All right. Take another quick break, Angel. When we get back, I'm going to get to all you guys are all the text line is absolutely blowing up. So at 727-858-6650. I do want to tell you about Phil Castanetti's Sports World in Saugus, Massachusetts, New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia. For over 35 years, Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles. Get on down to Sports World at 184 Broadway in Saugus. Call them 781-233-7222 for more information. They also have the webpage you can go to, 781-233-7222. You don't have to be from Massachusetts to find out all about the great stuff over there and how you can get it. Sports World in Saugus. Go see Phil and be there. All right, quick break. More highlights, and for Kansas City Chiefs fans, lowlights of the ass whooping you took at the hands of the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday in Super Bowl 59, all part of the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have any body to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
You want the best in sports and entertainment?
You got it. Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
He's done his best to hang in there, but again, not his natural position in the pros.
Hurts lets it go, complete. A.J. Brown, he's in! Touchdown, Eagles!
1 foot in front of his numbers, Bolton, the closest guy in coverage. He's not keeping up with the speedster Brown. Sirianni excited, as they should be.
Welcome back. It's hour number 2 of the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Network. I hate myself for loving the Eagles, but I'm very impressed. People around my neck of the woods, and if you're a Patriots fan or if you're, but I'm too old to go. I hate this team or that team anymore. It's just me. I appreciate good football. Except for Notre Dame and the Jets, I appreciate really good football. Well, the Jets don't have really good football. Notre Dame at least has really good football. Pretty good. Oh, by the way, my favorite story of the weekend was not because of my prediction that I got right with the parlay, but Aaron Rodgers flying to New Jersey last week to meet with the Jets about his future for the team, only to be told by the team, get the fuck out. Go. Get out.
Yep. See you later.
They're moving on up. That means that he will be a June 1st designation that allows him to sign with any team in the league on March 12th if he decides to continue to play. Given that Aaron made the effort to fly back to discuss the future, all signs point to him continuing to play. It just won't be for the Jets. What I don't understand, and Jay Glazer had that on Fox yesterday in one of the 18-hour pregame shows.
Right.
And I hate saying this because it's like defending Aaron Rodgers, but why make him fly? I don't know where he was flying from, but I'm going to assume it's across the country. You fly to New York. Why can't you just Zoom it? Hey, we're not having it. I mean, do you got to waste all that time to fly across the country to go to have the Giants or the Jets brass tell you we don't watch anymore? I would have rather tell you could. I'd rather pick up the phone. I know you want to do it in person. I get all that stuff, but geez.
Yeah.
Why does Joe say I have no volume?
I don't know. I have it on the app, on YouTube, everywhere.
Just to comment, the game was really bad, all one-sided. I didn't think it was a bad game at all. Somebody who else said it was the biggest whipping since the 31-9 that the Buccaneers put on the Chiefs. No, that was an excellent defense as well. Yep. But this one was better. As great as the Tampa Bay defense was in that game, and Patrick Mahomes will always be, he was a little dinged up. Well, so was a lot of other people, so I don't want to hear that. And they take nothing away from Vita Vea and those guys and what they did to him in that Super Bowl, and Tom was brilliant, a couple of touchdown passes to Gronk. But when you have a defense that didn't allow the opposing team to get past midfield for 9 drives, okay, their top receiver, Travis Kelce, didn't have a catch until the third quarter. And you get 6 sacks without blitzing one time. You rushed 4 guys the entire game. That is dominating a performance in the NFL. And just appreciate good football. Forget whose names are on the front of the jersey and the back of the jersey. Just look at the style. Sacrifices, hard work, guys doing their job. I like seeing that stuff. Now, do I think Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs, are going away? No, absolutely not. You can't. That's the other thing you're going to hear. The dynasty's over. I don't know. I mean, if they came back and won it next year, what does that mean? I mean, did they win 3 out of 4? So, look, it took Tom Brady 10 years in between Super Bowls at one point, but nevertheless got it done. A couple others. I think all I say is I just think the Kansas City Chiefs will be pretty highly competitive, if not now more motivated after the butt whipping that they took last night. Thanks for checking us out across the video platform. Also on the sports radio app, SR1029 The Game. Fantastic stuff. Check us out on Twitter, X at PChef326. Following me there on all the Facebook pages, Tampa Joe's, my Facebook page, the Coastal Sports Network's Facebook page, CSN Florida, Rumble, YouTube, Kick, LinkedIn. Oh, you said we're not on Twitch anymore, but Spotify.
See,
as well. All right. Let's see if we can get some more. Oh, here's another great highlight for Saquon Barkley. Probably his best highlight of the night.
Hurts looking deep. Not there. Now he's going to throw one for Barkley, who hangs on. Falling backwards down to the 4.
Hurts just gets out of the pocket with clear vision. And a little bobble from Saquon. And I never minded a bobble or two for a back. It's not necessarily their specialty. So as long as they came down with it, I was cool with it.
Yeah, the bobble or two, except the Tyreek Hill catch, not Tyreek Hill, the David Tariq catch against the Giants. And then the Javon Curse mumble thing that got down to the, red zone back in the Seattle game. And thank God Malcolm Butler made that interception, because when Curse made that crazy catch that bobbled around, and it was great concentration. We were all going, "Oh my God, please, not again, not again." But anyway, you know what happened. Speaking of interceptions, Angel Martinez.
Here's Mahomes. 4-man rush over the middle, and it's intercepted again. This time it's Zach Bond, and the Eagles are set up inside the 10.
Little pressure here. Tooney steps on Patrick, and Bond outstretched arms. Wow. What a catch. The all-pro linebacker, you got Sweat on Tooney, pushes him into Patrick, a little off balance as he throws. Bond reads his eyes, and a diving catch from a guy that used to play on the Saints on the line of scrimmage, rushing the quarterback. They moved him to middle linebacker this year on a one-year contract. One of the signings of the season by Howie Roseman. You want to sustain success, you find diamonds in the rough like him.
Great job by Tom Brady there, and absolutely Howie Roseman finding him. What a day for the Big Ten yesterday. Cooper DeJean, kid from Iowa, rookie, with that little rugrat that he is, and what a little pain in the ass he is. I mean, you could just tell, not only in special teams but doing that. And then the kid, he went to Iowa, and Braun went to Wisconsin, I believe. So what a day for the Big Ten. Yesterday, 2 big interceptions. That made it was 17-0 then. If the Chiefs had scored there, you would have started going, "Oh, here we go. Here we go." It was one but that was about it. After that interception, I was like, this team is in trouble. And this was not one of those games where I thought, like, okay, now the Chiefs are going to flip a switch here, it's going to happen. I'm like, not the way that defense was playing, because they could not get anything going on the ground. Nothing on the ground. Let's see. After the game, here's more. Let's see, more reaction from some people. Where is it? Herm Edwards on ESPN talked about the Eagles blowout.
This was an absolute dismantling of the Kansas City Chiefs by the Eagles. Your first thoughts are what?
That the Philadelphia Eagles defense showed everyone today why they were the #1 defense in the National Football League. And they basically dominated the line of scrimmage. And if the game got to that, we knew that the Kansas City Chiefs would be in trouble. And that's what happened to them. They couldn't block them. They could not block that front.
Last night on SportsCenter, I'm going to give you your props. You picked the Eagles. I didn't give you props for that. I'm giving you props for how you said it was going to happen. You said they couldn't block them, so they were going to have to run the ball. If not, Mahomes would be running for his life all night. He got sacked 6 times. He was pressured 16 additional times.
Literally what happened.
2 picks, and they got blown out the building.
Yeah, I anticipated that if that took place, what you just talked about, this was going to be the result. Now, I didn't obviously think they were going to score 40 points.
Right.
But turnovers help. And think about the Eagles going into the playoffs. And I said this as well. They took the ball away 10 times in playoff competition. They took it away 3 more times. Mm-hmm. They were the better team, but they dominated. They dominated the Kansas City Chiefs, and it all started with their defense.
Yeah, Dylan says, now that the Super Bowl is done, what's next? Daytona 500 this weekend. Yeah, Baseball season. I'm still not in baseball mode yet. I am not. I'm I'm in my Celtics mode, and I am in. Andrew, what did I tell you Friday? That because they played like shit against Dallas on Thursday at home, the Celtics. I said they are going to crush the Knicks.
Yeah,
and they did on Saturday. I blew them out of their own building. It was absolutely amazing. And they're in Miami tonight, and they're going to beat them up too. They should anyway. The stuff that's going on in the NBA is just mind-boggling. I'm not going to talk about it today much because I want to focus on the Super Bowl. But my God, Anthony Davis gets hurt immediately. He's initially he said nothing to see here after the game. Yeah, I'm fine. It's nothing. Well, now he's going to be out multiple weeks. The Williams deal gets nixed with all that stuff. The Lakers still don't have a center. He didn't pass his physical. I remember I told you this. He only played in 22 games.
Yep.
I said that was a warning flag for me right out of the gate. But I mean, it's comical what is happening around the NBA. Some of this stuff. Dallas with AD down. I mean, it's just amazing. Anyway, how about last night? Chris Berman delivers a birthday cake to Saquon Barkley and Coop DeJean.
How many great birthdays you've had? Hopefully every one of them has been great. But it's not yours only. Cooper DeJean, come on in. Coop! Interception, birthday, and we have cake for you. Congratulations.
Congrats. Happy birthday, gentlemen.
Happy birthday, guys.
Man.
So wait a minute, because I saw this today. Number 26, okay? Number 33, hands up to 59. The Super Bowl 59. It's your birthday. I get it. It was in the cards and it was in the cake the whole time. Well, you know, I did that every now and then. I don't know if we serving this with plates.
I mean, we have not, but we may as well cut it.
I mean, listen. Am I going to do this?
Yeah, dice it up, boom.
I've not done this on NFL.
There's nothing more I like doing than eating on TV. Let's do it.
Wow.
Cooper, man,
happy birthday. Happy birthday,
happy birthday. I don't know.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty good. By the way, Saquon Barkley eclipsed Terrell Davis for the most rushing yards in a single season, including the playoffs. Late in the second quarter of the Super Bowl, it was over 2,500 yards, what he did. Just amazing stuff. And it's hard to believe that his statistically worst game came in the Super Bowl because they didn't have to do much. He really didn't. His longest run in the whole game was 10 yards, 57 on 25 carries, and you take away the 10, it was 24, 47 yards. But you know, he also made a couple of key blocks when Kansas City tried to blitz. I don't know if people caught that. He picked up the linebackers all the time, several times. He was really good. That's the other thing about the Eagles, and we talked about, maybe some of the wide receivers, not great numbers, and I've been bringing this up all postseason, but look what else they're doing. A lot of those big runs that Barkley has because of the blocks by some of the wide receivers, and particularly A.J. Brown. So it takes a lot. It's not all about the gaudy numbers and everything else. It's about sacrifices, and that's what the Eagles did. They sacrificed, and they did their job better than anybody. No finger pointing, except for the little Hurts, A.J. Brown thing, and maybe that got overplayed in the media because A.J. Brown had a great game that's next game after that. But the thing about Nick Sirianni is he is the little acorn that became the oak angel right before your eyes. We saw him grow up as a coach. What a difference. What a difference.
There was no other. Why am I hearing an echo? That was weird.
I'm not.
But he had to. He had no other choice but to do so, only because listen, you are going to run with this team. It's all right to be a fan. Don't get me wrong. Philly, I know we get a bad rep. I get it. I understand it. Who cares? No one likes this, and we don't even care. But the whole entire thing is that you have to learn how to be the coach. Be the coach first, be a fan second. And finally, when you reverse that switch and figured out, all right, you know what? I need to freaking really show up and forget about last season. That's exactly what he did. And for the run for him to make it 16-1 to finish up the season that way, I mean, that was quite incredible. So for me, Nick Sirianni, as much as I wanted him to be gone and fired, and maybe a part of me still wants to, but nonetheless, he's still.
You were not alone, though. Don't be. You were not alone. I'm telling you, ESPN, they were calling him a clown, jackass, whatever it was. Very unflattering terms. And I just thought, after the 2-2 start, I think he he changed completely. They started to win games, and some in ugly fashion, but so what? A win is a win.
Yeah.
Some of them weren't sexy, but you could see, and you certainly could see the defense. And the biggest thing going for the Eagles this year, for most of the entire season, was they remained reasonably healthy, which is a very, very difficult thing to do all the way to the postseason and through the postseason. You have to have a little bit of luck in this to get and win a Super Bowl. And for them, they avoided the injury bug, at least major injury bugs. You know, the Lions were the opposite, obviously, what happened to them. But if you want to say, if there's any luck involved for the Eagles, the only luck is that they didn't have any major injuries. They stayed reasonably healthy, most of these guys, for the entire season.
Yep, they did. Good morning, Bill, by the way.
Hi, Bill. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's scroll down, Angel, if we can, a couple of videos here, down to Fox Sports NFL. Jameis Winston, who was a media member this week, I think for NFL Network, or for Fox, I should say, really didn't do much, but he is taking credit for the A.J. Brown touchdown dance in the end zone, Angel. Here's how it went down last night on Fox.
They're saying A.J. Brown did my celebration.
Are you serious?
Bro, can I just give you a celebration suggestion? A celebration. Can I help you with your celebration? Yeah. All right. I know at family reunions we talk about a cha-cha slide. I want you to slide to the left, slide to the right, crisscross and eat a W and walk off that thing. I got you. Oh, he did it! Oh my God! I told him. I told him to do that celebration.
For real?
Yes. Slide to the left, slide to the right, crisscross. I told him to eat a W. He ain't eat a W yet, but I know if they win, he gonna eat a W. Oh my gosh!
Oh man,
this is epic.
buddy, I love how much you love life.
I've just been on the Jumbotron, and I technically celebrated in the Eagles end zone. Let's go!
You are the greatest guy alive.
No, bro, you the greatest. They're saying AJ.
No, you're the greatest. No, you're the greatest. Yeah, funny stuff. Funny stuff. That's going to be interesting to see where he ends up as a quarterback, where he ends up, where Sam Darnold ends up, where Aaron Rodgers ends up. So, Daniel Jones, that type of thing.
Aaron Rodgers isn't going to end up anywhere. Aaron Rodgers is going to end up on a spaceship somewhere in planet Uranus. That's where he's going to end up.
Well, that's. I think that. I think he will play next year for somebody.
Who wants him?
I mean, you know what, man? Maybe I'm wrong. Who is going to want him as a starter? Somebody. All it takes one, Angel. It just takes one. Somebody. He's not going to be a backup. He's not going to be a backup. So
of course not. He doesn't want to show backups either how to freaking play. So who is that desperate? The Cleveland Browns are that super desperate? They need somebody.
You just hit the nail on the head. That's a great example of somebody. And I keep hearing, if they pass on Cam Ward for that guy, for Aaron Rodgers, they are so stupid. If Tennessee and Cleveland don't go with the quarterback, don't go with Ward or Shadur Sanders, I think that's all-time stupid. But who knows? They may have other ideas, other plans in mind. We're still going to find out what's going to happen with Garrett and that situation as well. He hasn't been traded yet. Going to be, I said, the money around June 1st, $36.5 million, whatever, $36.2 million. We'll see. It's going to be, as usual, the NFL is now 12 months. There's storylines throughout. Before you know it, it's going to be OTAs.
Yep.
It's going to be OTAs. All right, if we can scroll down a couple more, Angel, to emotional. Randy Moss back on the set on ESPN yesterday with Greeny and Rex Ryan and the boys. And we could play this, and it was great to see him back.
Y'all already know it's the big crybaby here, man. Hey, y'all, I couldn't do it alone. And I really thank y'all, NFL, my teammates. I seen Pep, I seen Miss Green, I seen Brady Belichick. Hey, guys, it's been hard, but I got a lot of love and a lot of people believe in me, man. So I'm happy to be here, man. You said, Greeny, don't do it again. Let's get this show started, man. God bless you all, man. God is good, man.
I will say that we just broke a promise to Randy Moss. We told him we wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Y'all
That was good stuff. And the video, they had a little video tribute before, like you mentioned, Belichick and Brady. They came on, and even though Brady works for Fox, but I'm glad they didn't worry about that kind of crap. I did want to say shout out to the Giron family, Dick Giron from Swampscott, Massachusetts. A true gentleman of the game, passed away, I think, way too young. He was one of the greatest high school athletes that Massachusetts ever saw. When he was at Swampscott, I know my buddy Glenn Ordway, who played for Lynn Classical back then, got trounced by that guy many, many times, and it was a kind, as he said, Glenn said, a kind, gentle man who never forgot his past. Yeah, so Dick Giron, rest in peace, family and friends. Condolences from all of us. All right, let's see. What else we got going on here?
By the way, I came across, speaking of, do I still have it? Where was it? Give me a second. Let me go back to here. Because speaking about Jameis Winston, which I thought was pretty classy of him. He was talking to some kids in New Orleans.
Okay.
And had mentioned upon basic leadership. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Talked about leadership. Oh, here we go. So let me play this here. This was, he said he spoke with the students in New Orleans about watching Megan Thee Stallion tweaking. He said, what are we setting our attention to? Are we watching Megan Thee Stallion tweaking videos, or are we watching Kobe Bryant greatness videos? So let me bring this up. Put that there. Because he was, I tell you what, he was all over the place this week, but I thought this was pretty good.
What are we sending our attention to? Are we watching Megan Thee Stallion twerking videos? Or are we watching Kobe Bryant greatness videos? I'm not just listening to what somebody tell me to do, but I'm putting in the effort of what I'm going to do each day. How I'm going to pour into myself, how I'm speaking to myself, how I'm reading to enhance myself, the people that I'm listening to, the people that I'm allowing to impact my energy that I have. And the third thing, become natural. Once you have God and once you educate yourself, I can do anything I put my mind to.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, good stuff. I still will never forget the finger licking thing that he did. I don't know what the hell that was back in the day, a few years ago. By the way, the projected top 51 NFL cap space, Patriots number 1 at 123 million, Raiders number 2 at 95 million, Commanders number 3 at 80 million, Cardinals 4 at 71 mil, 5 is the Bears at 65 mil. So both of those teams, if they draft and spend money in the proper places, all of those teams, especially the Patriots and Raiders, should be in really good shape. The Commanders as well. The worst, Miami Dolphins at 30th, 15 mil. The Browns, really bad at 31, 27 mil. And the worst team, I'm talking negative 50, they're 15 million over the cap. The Dolphins at 30. These are the three worst. The Browns are 27 million over the cap. Now, that'll change a little bit with Deshaun Watson and they get some of that money back. But nevertheless, the Browns don't have a lot of wiggle room there. And the Saints are $51 million over the cap. When Kellen Moore leaves to go to that job tomorrow, which he will take over as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, as most people realize, if he'd been living under a rock, he will be the next head coach of the New Orleans Saints. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But he's going to have to deal with that negative $51 million, and to try to be competitive. That's a big hurdle for that organization. Speaking of Jameis Winston, let me play this. This is from the Sirius XM NFL Radio. Here's Jameis Winston, Angel, and boys and girls about how he prepared for this year's Super Bowl as a media member.
Well, I was looking for any opportunity to be involved in New Orleans for the Super Bowl because I live here. But Fox reached out to me and they said, "Hey, man, we got this set up for you. We think you'll work for it." And at first, I was like, "Man, I got to prepare for this. What does it take? How is this process going to work? Me being in this media space, am I going to be comfortable in this space? Obviously, the fear of the unknown. But I was like, "Hey, man, all I got is now. Let me go ahead and embrace this." I'm interviewing people. I meet a guy from UK running on the boardwalk. Yeah. I'm walking down St. Peter's. I meet a guy from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And he said, the only reason I'm here is for you, James. I'm like, there's no way possible. Like, you have a Super Bowl logo on your shirt. Like, you're here for the Super Bowl. But I think just the variety, like, this is the gumbo city, man. So when you add all those different mixes in a pot, you get something amazing. And I think the support that I've received from the city has been because my authenticity towards them and loving them. And when you give respect, you earn respect back.
Yeah. And I don't know if he's going to, I'd be stunned if he didn't have a job next year with some team. It's not going to be Cleveland, but he'll be a backup somewhere for something. I still think he's got some stuff left in the tank. And I did when you put on that Cleveland Browns uniform, it's like put on a Jets uniform. You just suck. It's just something happens, you know. You get the football life sucked out of your body. It's like that thing in Ghost. It's just like gone. Nobody puts Jameis in the corner.
You know, who's the only one that's not going on the plane back to Philly?
The what?
You know, the only member of the Super Bowl championship team that's not going to be on the plane going back to Philly.
Well, I said it's Kellen Moore. He's going to go get the Saints job.
Yep. That's
what I just said. He's going to be gone tomorrow. I mean, he'll be gone. That job will be his by tomorrow. When they're doing the parade this week in Philly, which, by the way, all of you, I was watching the Celtics destroy the Knicks at MSG Friday night. I haven't seen it snow that hard in downtown New York. I mean, right at the Garden in a long time. I mean, Philly, all of New England, and some other got really bad snowstorms / blizzards, whatever you want. They got whacked pretty good. And I think another one's coming this week, Angel. I'm not sure when the parade is going to be, but I mean, the weather's got to be a factor here.
Yep. No, it's they already mentioned that if it comes down to it, they're going to have to end up delaying it. They don't care if delay it by the week. The NFL likes to get it done by Tuesday, a couple of days afterwards. And last time we had to wait till Thursday, same thing because of the weather. But you know, you can't clear the streets. You can't do all this stuff and then try to run a parade at the same time. So I don't care if they delay it for a week, one way or the other. They're going to get it done. But yeah,
plus you're down here, you see it on TV. You don't have to be involved in that stuff. So
it's 85 degrees weather. Yes, I'll be enjoying it. I'll be the only one on Broad Street on Tampa.
I mean, the temperature here about 8 to 10 degrees higher than normal. I mean, it's been just drop dead gorgeous. Number 10 days since our little freeze in the 40s in the low 50s for about 10 days. But it has just been. That's why we live here, man. This is why. And I know some of you say it gets too hot down here in the summer and blah blah blah. And I'm like,
nope.
Sorry, it's you go from the office to the car to the to where air conditioning. I mean, that's what it's for. I don't mind it. I will take it. It's a couple of weeks out of the year, a couple of months out of the year, as opposed to being in fear of a snowstorm 8 months out of the year. Nope. Sorry, done with that. Not happening. Done. By the way, how about this? A shout out to another good friend of ours, Jim Blakesley, who recently competed. Last week, he was in Camden, Maine, competing in like a bobsled type of competition. He finished him and his brother-in-law. I think his brother-in-law or his nephew. Him and his nephew, I think, finished 19th out of like 161 racers. And this is like the whole thing lasts about 15 seconds. Those thing. But it would I was amazed. He showed a video. I'm like, you are crazy, to go and it looked like. It looked like, hell had frozen over because there was just so much snow and ice, but you expect that up there. Also, my other good friends, you thought that was crazy. I have other good friends, my great friends Lou and Anna, and they're with a bunch of people on a cruise ship in Antarctica. It started in Argentina. They have to go there, and then you have to go across. And, of course, my concern, they have beautiful pictures. I've never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. Of course, it's summer over there, but it's still, like, ridiculously frozen, and see all the glaciers and everything else. Amazing, amazing pictures. I may put some up a little bit later on. He won't mind. But it's just, of course, my concern was, well, what time's the Super Bowl come on, which I asked him. He's like, 8:30. So there's only 2 hours difference. Not 8:30 in the morning either, 8:30 at night. So my friends all got to watch the Super Bowl. Instead of being on locally at 6:30, Eastern time was on 8:30 Eastern time out there. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's take another quick break, Angel, and then we'll do one more segment. I'm going to get out of here by 9 o'clock today to give you some time to get ready for your show. I'm assuming you're going to have your show coming up today at 10 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot. I got some other stuff I got to do on the side over here for the show and for the network, but we'll come back and finish out the segment until 9 o'clock, and then you're on, and then later on Q was on, and a whole bunch of shows are on, right? This week tonight.
Gamut of shows are on today. Martinez coming up here at 10 o'clock, which may be coming to an end. I'll let you guys know at 10 o'clock. So that'll be on at 10, and then
that out there. All right, we'll talk when we get back.
Yeah. Also, B's World. Q after us. He'll be at maybe 4 o'clock, more than likely at 5 o'clock, but he'll be on at 5. B's World from 6 to 7:30, and then to close out the night will be Lloyd Vance's Insider Football with Lloyd Vance and Kevin Midget. That will be from 8 till 9:15 this evening on the network.
So much to talk about, and just and actually, if you appreciate good football, just a dominating performance by Angels Philadelphia Eagles. All right, quick break. When we come back, more highlights and some lowlights for you Chiefs fans coming up next year on the Pete Sheppard Show, and some halftime jibber jabber as well here on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie. So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The Pete Sheppard Show. It's fun for the whole family, if it's dysfunctional.
It is 3rd and 16 for the Chiefs. Facing the staunchest defense of the season. Back goes Mahomes. He's rushing. He's looking. It's intercepted. It's intercepted. Running with the football to the 25. Down the far side is the Gene. And Gene is in for a touchdown.
Happy birthday, Cooper the Sheen.
Cooper the June with a pick for a touchdown.
Cooper the Sheen, a pick six in the Super Bowl on your birthday. Happy birthday, kid.
Merrill Reed's Mike Quick on 94 WIP. Yes. On your birthday. Great stuff. Eagles win 40-22, in case you're just waking up. They blew out the Kansas City Chiefs last night. There is no question about it. They dominated in every way, shape, or form in all three phases of the game, as we say. I'm Pete Sheppard. He is Angel Martinez. Martinez and Company coming up at 10 o'clock this morning. All right, Angel, let's do a couple of videos here, and then we'll get to what the halftime. What is this? We'll get to the halftime lowlights or highlights, depending on if you watch it. I can't give an opinion. I'm just going to tell you what some people are saying. If we could scroll down right under the show, we're going to go back on Friday on Get Up, and the entire crew with one of the greatest spreads, by the way, that I've ever seen. They all picked the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. But the spread that was brought out was frog legs and a whole beignets, whole bunch of stuff. Orlovsky had never eaten a frog leg before. There was gator bites. Laura was chowing down earlier, but the spread is still there. But here's the guys, the entire crew picking the Eagles to win.
I've had a similar experience. Everyone is eating the beignets. I've had a similar experience. I started the week, and you're going to see that this is going to contradict the pick that I made because they asked me, our PR department asked me for a pick at the beginning of the week, and I picked the Chiefs because my thinking was, how do you pick against Patrick Mahomes? You can't do it. But then I hosted this show every day this week, and I've had like 12 football analysts on, and every conversation leans towards Philadelphia. Every conversation leads to how balanced they are offensively, how they can beat you almost no matter what it is that you try to do to them with your defense. And then they're as great as Kansas City's defense has been during the second half of this run. I think the Eagles are stronger on that side of it as well. So while it scares me to death to do it, I'm going to pick the Eagles.
And Greeny's now, and here's the great part. Greeny can't be wrong. He's now picked both.
That's exactly right.
I have two in fact, I am now embarrassed that I am the only football player up here who is making a non-football decision. I'm not banking on magic. I'm going with toughness. There we go. Let's go. birds. That's why I wore the green. There we go. Fly, Eagles fly.
Anyway,
Man, it's sure going to suck when they show this on Monday. I know. It's going to be brutal. It'll be on the Kansas City social.
Here's the hilarious thing. This graphic, yesterday, all of us picked the Chiefs.
I flip-flopped.
So that is a great lesson for all the journalism students who are here. Just pick both sides. That way you can't possibly be wrong.
Now, getting back to the fellas also, this morning on Get Up, right underneath that, Angel, they're talking about Patrick Mahomes being flustered as badly as he was by the Eagles yesterday.
Oh, I feel bad for him.
Look, I went to practice to see the Chiefs on Friday, and one of the first things Andy told me was this. He said, look, we're going to need to match their physicality from play one, and it's the number one thing he was going to be watching. Well, from play one, you could see right then, they were in it. They were going to be in for it all night long, and they never had an answer for it. And look, Rex is right. As soon as the quarterback felt how much different this game was going to be, with them just rushing 4 and covering with 7, and they didn't need to send any extra rushers, he was like, well, look, this is going to be the way this night's going to go, and they never had an answer for it.
So the two of you guys did the game for International last night, Lewis and Dan, along with Chris Fowler. So you're obviously in the vantage point of in the booth and describing it. Dan, from a quarterback's perspective, and what I'm doing here is not talking about Patrick Mahomes. I'm talking about that defense and the pressure. I've never seen Patrick Mahomes look like he looked last night. Why?
Yeah, it's the most unsettled and flustered I've ever seen Patrick look. It's the worst game I've ever seen Patrick play. The pressure that was happening forced his eyes to drop, his feet to be all over the place, and that led to uncharacteristic misses for Patrick Mahomes. Really, the second pass of the game it happened.
Mm-hmm.
11.4 on the QBR rating.
Yeah, and again, he was 21 to 32. A lot of that was late. In the spirals in the dirt. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 257 yards. He rushed for 25 yards and 4 carries. They could not get anything going on the ground. They couldn't. And I will say this: the 2 worst we've ever seen him play was that one, and then against Tom Brady's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Vita Vea and that group and company. That's the second worst he's looked in my lifetime. I'm going to be 58 next month, but it's as far as I know. So those are the 2 worst games. And I mean, every quarterback, even the great ones have had bad games. You just don't want to see him. He's had 2 of his worst games in the Super Bowl. That's the only thing. Of course, all my New England friends saying, well, Tom never lost they never lost by 18 points in the Super Bowl. There was only 8 to Philadelphia, and that came down to the final play as well. But you can't. You take nothing away from it. This was just dominating a defense. The 22 points it's almost like, I mean, the Chiefs got 16 in the fourth quarter. They couldn't get out of their own way, and it was because the Eagles were doing what they do, which is which they've been doing all year for the most part. And in this game, totally out. No adjustments by Andy Reid. If you know that the Eagles are only rushing 4. Or at least no adjustments that I know of. I mean, they didn't try anything. There was nothing there. You mentioned like on a fake punt, something. It was. I know the interception down, inside the red zone that Braun made was a huge one. Obviously, you wonder if they had scored there, would it have changed the dynamic of the game? I don't know. Ifs and buts, candy and nuts, right? We all have a hell of a party, but it didn't happen that way. It didn't happen, and. They made no adjustments. The Eagles rushed 4. They didn't blitz one time, not one time the whole game, and it took 9 possessions, 9 drives for the Kansas City Chiefs to cross midfield. Their star player, Travis Kelce, a star receiver, didn't make a catch until the third quarter.
Yep.
And game was well out of reach by then, well out of reach. By the way, upcoming NFL dates, February 18th, which is 8 days from today, the tag window opens up. In 2 weeks from today, the 24th to the 3rd, February 24th to the 3rd, is the NFL Combine, where you get to see fat guys run around in boxer shorts. I hate the Combine. There are people that love it, and they swear, I hate the Combine. I don't care about the drill. I know people watching me care about that. I don't care how high somebody can jump. I get it. I look at that stuff after the draft, after my team drafts people. Then I might go back and look at that stuff. I don't care. about watching grown men run around and do sprints in their underwear. It does nothing for me. I don't care. Straight out football speed is very different from flat out speed like you see in these combines. I don't care if somebody runs a 4.2 40. I don't care. How does he do it what's he doing on the football field? A lot of those guys can't get up, don't do 4.2s on the football field. Once they get hit, you don't know. They get chipped. Different story. But a lot of people like it. March 4th, the tag window closes. March 10th to the 12th, the negotiation period begins. And March 12th, the league year begins. All teams must be top 51 salary cap compliant by 4 o'clock on March 12th. So that leaves, when Kellen Moore takes over the Saints, either later today or tomorrow, negative 51. They're 51 million over the cap. That is a big gap to try and fill. Let's see. I'm going to run this video real quick, Angel. I just tweeted out. You're going to have to refresh. And this is the Taylor Swift. I'm going to talk about halftime before we get out of here today. But Taylor Swift seemed shocked when she was booed. So if you want to play this video, check this out. Huh? Me? What?
Exactly.
Booing Travis Kelce. They're not booing you per se, Taylor. They're booing Travis Kelce. That's all. I wouldn't say. Look, she's a great entertainer. Whatever. I don't really care about that stuff. But she's got to get used to that. And she hasn't been. I'm trying to think. Has she been in opposing stadiums? I know she goes to a lot of the ones, obviously, at Arrowhead. But I don't know if she's been in opposing stadiums.
She has been
that many times. So I mean, you get used to it.
Yeah, she hasn't been in opposing stadiums. The only time she's ever been, obviously, now with the Super Bowl last year, Super Bowl this year, but yeah, not since. And by the way, speaking of, if everybody remembers this one from last year, this classic from this guy, which I thought it was not last year, excuse me, from 2017, which is absolutely terrific.
Yo, Tony Romo.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's close the halftime performance. I didn't know that. I didn't see it. So of course somebody did something, got political. So a performer in Kendrick Lamar's halftime show was detained on the field, could face charges after unfurling a combination Sudanese-Palestinian flag with Sudan and Gaza written on it. The NFL confirmed that person was part of the 400-member field cast. The New Orleans Police Department said in a statement that, quote, the law enforcement is working to determine applicable charges in the incident. The performer stood on a car. I remember walking by, just smoking my cigar. I did see a lot of cars. I don't know. It looks kind of silly to me. The performer stood on a car, used a prop for Lamar's performance, and held up the flag. The NFL said the individual hid the item on his person, which means in his crotch.
Yep.
It's like a crotch rot in the flag. The individual hid the item on his person and unveiled it late in the show. No one involved with the production was aware of the individual's intent. But that's only one part of the story. The other part is, I didn't pay attention to the commercials, except for like I said, the early one with the Dunkin' Donuts. Otherwise, we're all yapping and stuff. But Taylor Swift gets booed. Kendrick Lamar using halftime to take shots at Drake, which we talked about the other day, and I'm not caught up on why they hate each other so much or what the deal is there. The internet had plenty to talk about, though. Swift's presence at the Super Bowl. Taylor Swift has been the storyline of the year, but not everyone was thrilled to see her when she appeared on the giant video screen at Caesars Superdome. A mix of cheers and boos rang out. The singer seemed to handle it like a pro. Bit of a side eye and light smile, yeah. We just showed it to you.
The only thing I was trying to figure out, though,
the Tom Brady Snoop Dogg anti-hate ad, stupid.
That was
true. Just ridiculous. A PSA called No Reason to Hate, which turned out to be a bit ironic. Once it debuted, social media became flooded with people who hated it. Who hated the spot. The spot was for billionaire Robert Kraft's foundation to combat, I didn't know that, anti-Semitism. Hi, Luna. Hey, baby girl.
Wait a minute. Are we going to get the appearance? Wait. Where is she?
I don't know. She's over here. Hang on. Luna Bell, come here. Come here. I gotta take my headphones off.
Sure.
No? Okay. Okay, bye, Chunky Butt.
Right?
AKA Chunky Butt. He's got a good J-Lo butt now. So that I didn't realize that it was for Robert Kraft's Foundation to Combat Anti-Semitism. So it featured the duo trading barbs, and then I hate you because you look different. I hate you because I don't understand you. I get it. I'm not going to play. I get it.
Yeah, but the problem still exists, though, where you turn around, if you keep pushing hate, it's just, you're never going to get freaking rid of it because you keep just blowing up. Like, listen, the world is going to be what it is. When people decide that they actually want to be nice to one another, that's up to them. But to keep pushing out this crazy narrative about, we got to stop hate. Listen, as a parent, you repeat the same thing to your child how many times, and how does that work out? Eventually, yeah, they get it. So it's just, there's got to be a point in time where some of this stuff, you got to slow it down.
I appreciate why they did it. It's just the dialogue. Whoever wrote it, I don't know. And Snoop saying at the end, man, I hate that things are so bad that we have to do a commercial about it. It's just, certain stuff like that, PSA stuff like that. I mean, you want to feel moved or sentimental about that. Was like, really? It didn't do it for me. How about Martha Stewart's Skechers ad?
Yeah, when she was skipping around with
a hilarious Skechers commercial. I do remember this one. This was the other one. Besides, I forgot about this one until I just seen it. 83-year-old had social media buzzing with fans on X, crowning her the real MVP of the night. In the ad, AI-generated version of Stewart pulls off insanely impressive breakdancing moves, flipping, twisting. Let me see if we can. Maybe we can play that. Hang on a second. It's on. She
was better than the breakdancing lady there from. What was she from? Australia, whatever it was.
Yeah. Hang on a second. I will get the right site here, and then we'll just end with this. Where is it? Oh, fine. Give me 2 seconds here to find it. But Angel Show, Martinez and Company is coming up this morning at 10 o'clock. Oh, come on. Where is it?
Let me see if I can find it.
Fine. I'm looking on the Hollywood Reporter, which is where I saw it. And
right here. I got it.
Oh, you got it? Oh, awesome. Okay. I only remember, I think I was coming back for the battle. I only saw half of this, so I haven't even seen the whole thing yet.
That's pretty good. I don't know if this is going to be the whole thing, though. It says only 22 seconds.
It's probably right.
As their glide step, it almost feels like I'm gliding on air when I walk. Let me demonstrate. Drop a beat. Glide step, glide step, glide step, Skechers slip-ins, glide step. And that's how you glide. Go hands-free with glide step, Skechers slip-ins. Glide step, Skechers slip-ins. As their glide step, it almost...
The new scoreboard is getting the shit ripped out of it, too. It takes a lot to distract people. As one fan described it, the pixelated display may have been the single biggest downgrade in the history of scoreboard graphics. Yeah, I didn't understand Fox. It just looked... It looked like Nickelodeon-esque, like something that they would do for little kids.
The only thing I can think of, though, Pete, the reason why they did it, because if you take a look at it, right, the Super Bowl, that was like a stretched O, stretched B. They were trying to do something different. So I don't know. Was it a New Orleans thing that they were trying to kind of associate the scoreboard with? Because I didn't get it either.
Fox was trying to just do something different, and I think it backfired on them. I don't think I didn't like it. It was distracting. It was just weird. It was just weird. You might be right, Angel. I just think, some young whippersnapper probably say, hey, let's just try this and do that. It looked like something out of Nickelodeon, I don't know. Kendrick Lamar, as I said, took shots at Drake in the middle of his halftime set after being introduced by Samuel L. Jackson. Lamar wasted no time feeding into his original feud with Drake, performing part of his Grammy-winning diss track, Not Like Us. I guess the song is all about dissing Drake. Before diving into the song, he made sure to send a pointed message, locking eyes with the camera and teasing, quote, I want to play their favorite song, but they love to sue, which I guess is a clear dig at Drake and his legal battles with Universal Music Group, their shared record label, which I don't give two shits about. And then Serena Williams. Never knew Serena Williams was there until this morning. Never saw her. Didn't know. Look, yeah, she was there along with SZA, which I called Za all last week before my good friend on the show, Sheila Book, said, no, it's SZA. I called her Za. Because it looked like Zsa Zsa Gabor, but the spelling. But SZA and Serena Williams, two of Drake's exes. Oh, I forgot about that. On screen during the performance, the internet exploded. Everybody was saying, one guy says, OMG, OMG, Kendrick Lamar did it. Not only did he rock the best of Not Like Us, he sang the lyrics, he did it, mentioned Drake by name, damn, hell of a halftime show the brother showed. Salute. Stephen A. Smith said that. Kendrick Lamar. I'm looking at Kendrick Lamar, and it looks like Apollo Creed in Rocky 4, or the original Rocky with the hat. And in Rocky 4. Go ahead. Play what you got to play.
Welcome to Java Jam, Battle of the Coffee Brand Band.
This ain't the Dunkings. Where the hell are Matt and Tom?
Forget them suckers. Matt Damon and Tom Brady don't have the heart of a champion. We got a new squad, Dunkings sequel. Affleck and Belichick. Dunkings! A little more spirit on the, on the charge next time. All right. We got a fourth Dunking, too, coming.
This creeped me out.
Oh, my God.
What is that?
Is that coffee? What are you doing in there?
I'm just trying to find the character.
We got to battle the barista buds.
I'm all in for Duncan. You should have played for Matt.
I told you that.
Dunkings about to get roasted. Like a dark seasonal roast with coriander and slight balsamic drizzle.
Sounds like what's in my garbage disposal.
See you, coach. How much to wait a half hour to get my name spelled wrong on the cup?
Nobody wants a goat milk double half calf soy milk cap. You could just brew it. It's beans and water.
Oh, damn. Listen, Dunkin's for all of yous. America runs on Dunkin'.
Who's the guy that popped out of the thing and the coffee machine? I didn't know who that was. That was Ben Affleck, Casey Affleck there. Who was that?
I don't know. I didn't recognize him either. I'm pretty sure someone will put it out there today, but I didn't recognize him.
I don't know. That was one of the better commercials. So there's your Super Bowl halftime highlights right there. Just again, I didn't see it. I mean, stuff like that's always going to be split down the middle. I mean, for me, the two best halftime shows I've seen in the last 15 years, I think Madonna in 2011, the Giants beating the Patriots the second time. She was very good, I thought, that day. And Lady Gaga a few years ago. Other than that, I really don't remember any of them. I don't watch them. It's just my thing. I know I have no desire. All I know is they're too freaking long. That last night's was not 30 minutes. It was like 40 minutes, it seemed. Anywho. All right, Angel. That's you got your show coming up. So what I'm going to do is let's end with this. This is what you should be doing for the next hour. In celebration of your Philadelphia Eagles winning Super Bowl LIX. See, why can't they get this? Get these guys to play.
That'd be nice.
1, 2, 3. All right. Angel's coming up next in a little bit with Martinez and company. You got a couple of major announcements, and I'm in suspense because I did not know. But anyway, we'll look forward to that. Hey, thanks, everybody. Tomorrow, full show from 7 to 10. Jay Flannery will join me at 8:30. And I'll have one or two other guests as well as we continue to dissect and analyze. By the way, the word of the day or the phrase of the day is going to be blueprint. I promise you, you will be so sick of hearing that, and you're going to have people all day telling you that the way to beat Kansas City. So according to this, if you play like the Eagles did yesterday, Kansas City will not win a game next year. They'll be 0-17. But the problem is these other teams don't have the players the Eagles do. But you will hear, I promise you, blueprint, phrase of the day from the Pete Sheppard Show. Have a great and safe Monday, everybody. I'm back tomorrow at 7 a.m. See ya!
Ready with the 1-2 checker. Rex and effects is in effects, but I'm the wreck of the track. But the honey shaking rumps and